Go over a full mobility workout that you can perform at home. You don't need any equipment, and we're going to get started now. So whether you're standing, sitting on a chair, or kneeling just like this, what we're going to do is go ahead and just focus on our breathing. You can close your eyes, or you can just focus on your diaphragm lowering. And as that diaphragm lowers, I want you to expand the space within your abdominal wall, your pelvic wall, and our back. So think about these areas of our body filling up as we inhale, and then try to exhale a little bit longer than our inhale. Try to inhale through the nose and exhale twice as long. We're going to go ahead and inhale, fill up this space like a balloon. Touch the sides. I want you to squeeze into these areas here, here, and your lower back, and hold. And exhale it out. Inhale. Fill 360. Tighten these areas, all lower, around, upper, and back. Hold, squeeze this area. And exhale. On the end of your exhale, keep exhaling. We're going to do the same thing. Push and squeeze. And inhale. Fill 360. Hold this area and squeeze. Exhale. Double the exhale. Everything out. Everything out. At the end, go ahead and squeeze this area. 360. And take a big inhale. Same thing. Squeeze 360. Exhale it out. Exhale twice as long. Keep exhaling. At the end, squeeze. Big inhale. Hold it at the top. And exhale it out. Good. From here, what we're going to do is go to our hands and knees, or we can round our backs in a chair by just holding on to our knees like this if we're on a chair. Or if we're able to, push the hands into the ground. We're in spinal flexion here, tucking the toes behind the knees, knees behind the hands, hands under the shoulders. Should be like almost like a square underneath here with a little bit wider of a top. From here, what we're going to do is look down, tuck the chin in, round the upper back toward the sky, and tuck the pelvis in. So that would be a posterior pelvic tilt. Breathe and hold. Inhale. Lower the diaphragm. Squeeze into that area. Exhale twice as long. Keep exhaling. Squeeze that area. Inhale. Fill 360. Keep the back rounded. Tuck the pelvis in. And exhale it out. From here, what we're going to do is push forward with the hands and push back with the knees and the feet at the same time. So trying to spread the floor apart, okay, or tear the floor apart. So from here, what we're going to do is round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the pelvis, pushing forward with the hands, pushing back with the knees and the feet at about a 5% effort. So we're not pushing so hard that we're shaking. We're just pushing into the ground at about a 5% effort. So lighten the load. Now let's try 10%, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15%. Work your way slowly to 20%. Slowly to 25. 30. Work your way to 35, 40%. Pushing forward and back with the knees and feet. Work your way up nice and slowly to 50. And then from 50 all the way to 75%. Work your way up nice and slowly. And then 75, do your safest and greatest effort and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and now rails. We're going to try to pinch the ground with the abs. Pinch the ground together with the hands and the knees, trying to now pull the ground in instead of apart. Keep the back rounded and keep the pelvis tucked in as you pinch the ground. You're going to feel this in your chest, in your forearms. You're going to feel it in your core here. So squeezing the ground together, trying to squeeze it together. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then relax. Big inhale and exhale. Really round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the pelvis. We're going to work our way to spinal extension. If you need to rest your wrists at any time, that's fine. From here, what we're going to do is begin to dip the hips forward here, or anterior pelvic tilt. And as we do that, the lower lumbar are going to want to follow. Try to steady your breathing and just control one vertebrae at a time, starting with your lumbar or your lower back. And then after moving your lower back, you're going to work your way up into the mid back and the upper back. You got to go as slow as you can, trying to go one vertebrae at a time. And then working your way to your thoracic spine, all the way up. You'll eventually get to be going all the way the other way, and your neck will only begin to rise when the upper back is sunken as low as possible into extension. And then the neck will begin to look up. Now we're in full spinal extension with anterior pelvic tilt, emphasizing the tilt and the extension of the back. Now we're pulling into the ground using the anterior chain here. And then with the posterior chain will be our rails contraction, where we're going to push apart with our back, but we're going to stay in this position. So we're going to begin with our passive hold here in spinal extension. Breathing here. Obviously it takes a lot of strength for the wrist, so if you want to go knuckles or forearms, that's fine. And then from here, what we're going to do, inhale 360, hold, squeeze, and exhale twice as long. Inhale 360, and exhale twice as long. Inhale 360, and exhale twice as long. Now what we're going to do is begin to squeeze the ground with our anterior chain, 0% to 5%. Not too much to where you're shaking. Pinch the ground with your anterior chain, but keep the arch in your back Spinal extension here, squeezing the ground together, 10%, 15, 20%, using the anterior chain, 25, 30%, 35%, 40%, 45, 50, 55 to 60, 65 to 70, all the way to your greatest and safest effort for 10, 9, 8, 7, pinching the ground, 6, 5 as hard as you can, 4, 3, now push the ground apart, use your back, stay in this position though, use your posterior chain, maybe wrap those triceps in, use your back, keep the arch in your back, looking up here, keep the arch, use your back, 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we're going to articulate the other way, starting with the head and neck. We're going to slowly look down, use your posterior chain to push, as we round, tuck the chin, upper back begins to rise, and then the mid back will follow. Keep breathing here. Push the ground apart till the tailbone tucks under. And then we're going to try to segment one more time, going the other way from flexion to extension. And here we go. Pull the ground together, pinch the ground, use the core as you articulate the lowest part of the spine. It's part of the sacrum and coccyx, or tailbone, which is connected to the hips. Then the lower lumbar, and then the T-spine, and then the head and neck. And then from here you can control the neck in a circle, both ways. Okay, you can reach out front, hold here like you're shaking someone's hand, and then reach behind you like you're going in the back seat of a car, and then bring your hand behind your back like you got an itch, and relax. And then from here, drive that elbow toward the sky as you lift that hand off the back and extend the elbow. Unrotate or rotate into external rotation, reaching forward like you're about to shake someone's hand, and down. Switch like you're about to shake someone's hand, and then like you're about to go in the back seat of a car, and then you got an itch on your back of the hand, all the way up, and then lift off, extend the elbow, untwist the shoulder here as you reach forward, and down. From here, done a lot of work on the wrists, isometric contraction for a long time. So what we're going to do is go ahead and articulate those wrists. We're going to squeeze the wrists as much as we can. And as we squeeze the wrist, we're going to squeeze the neighboring muscles, the chest, everything that we can, whether we're seated or kneeling. And we're going to round those wrists, trying to create a circle. Slow as you can, and let's go ahead and rotate the other way. Good. From here, go ahead and you can bring those fingertips nice and wide, separate them, and point those fingers down. From here, fingers will go in, all the way up, all the way out, all the way down. In, all the way up, all the way out, all the way down. Now let's go the other way. Out, up, in, and all the way down. Try not to move your elbows, so that would mean try not to do this. Out, up, in, and all the way down, just like that. And relax. Shake it out a little bit. If you've been kneeling like me, go ahead and go into the seated position, or if you're able to, on a chair, spread your legs out and just hold here. So if you're seated in a chair, I just want you to spread your legs out, or have somebody help you. If you're able to sit up nice and tall just like this, we're going to bring those hands behind the back or onto your chair, and we're going to rotate to your left or your right. You can mirror me and do what I'm doing. I'm on my right. I could be on your left. I could be on your right. Who knows? So from here, I'm going to kind of lean into the side here and then come back. I'm going to lean forward and then lean back. Lean forward here, lean back. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch. So kind of like a kinetic stretch of the hamstring. Bend the knees as much as you need. If you feel like you're feeling pain behind the kneecap, I want you to bend that knee. Okay, if you feel like you don't feel the pain behind the knee, but you feel it in the hamstring, you can straighten it. Trying to keep that chest up. Good. From here, what we're going to do is give yourself a hug. We're going to perform a thoracic car from here. So we're going to wrap. We're going to perform a shoulder wrap, I like to call this. And then we're going to perform our controlled articular rotation from here. I'll give you a side angle. I'm going to flex down. As I flex down, I'm going to rotate. And as I rotate, I'm going to bend. And as I bend, I'm going to begin to extend back to my starting position, but with a more emphasis on driving those shoulders back. And then I'm going to rotate toward the other side. Bend into that side and flex all the way forward, all the way to the other side, and bend into that side, extend back, rotate toward the other side, bend, shoulder dips to hip, and flex down. Now we're going to rotate toward the other way, rotate, bend into the side, squeeze those legs, extend back, rotate toward the other side, bend into that side, and flex down. One more rotation all the way around, bend, extend all the way back, rotate toward the other side, bend into that side, and flex down. From here, go ahead and bring those feet together. If you're in a chair, I want you to just bend those knees. So go from here to here. If you're seated just like this in the butterfly position, or you're able to, I want you to put yourself against a wall. If you don't have a wall, that's fine, but this is going to drive the emphasis on control. So with this control and stability, you can also use a wall next to you as well. What I'm going to do is push into just one knee. So unilateral pals and rails in butterfly. Okay, saw Dewey do this the other day. This is a great one. I love this one. And we're going to push down and just kind of build that tension, kind of scan for that stretch. So scan for a stretch, feel a good stretch, and once we get there, we're going to hold and we're going to breathe. Remember, inhale 3, exhale 6, or inhale 4, exhale 8. And if you're able to, inhale 5, exhale 10. You have nowhere to be but to focus on that hip. From here, what we're going to do is start to build a little bit of tension, so I'm going to try to get out of this stretch by going into internal rotation, but I'm not able to because my hand is here blocking it. I can use this wall, create a little bit more radiation, so that's the benefit of having a corner to work with. And what we're going to do is push into the wall. If you have that available, even I can press this elbow into the wall. You could even press this opposite knee into the wall to create even more force output. Okay, now if that doesn't feel right, don't worry about it. Here we go. Build that tension, 5% effort, 7%, 10%. If it's already hurting, you've gone to 100%. So hold on. You're only at 10% here, 15%, 20%, 25%. Contract the opposite tissues, all the other tissues in the body, 30%, 35%, 40%, 45 to 50, 55 to 60, 60 to 70, all the way to your safest and greatest effort. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Rails, I want you to slam that knee into the ground as much as you can, actively pressing that knee down, going deeper into external hip rotation, squeezing the hamstring as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Let's go ahead and switch side. Breathe. Breathe, inhale and exhale. Should feel a good stretch here. Scan for the stretch. Breathe. From here, what we're going to do is start building that tension, pushing the hand into the knee, knee into the hand. 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, 30%, 35%, 40%, 45%, all the way to 50%, 55% to 60%, 65% to 70%, 75% to 80%, then 80% to your safest and greatest effort for 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. Go deeper into external rotation. Try to get that knee into the ground. Open it up further. Down, down, down. Press, press, press. Down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. And breathe. You can go away from the wall. See how your hips feel here. Maybe you create a little bit more space. From here, we'll go back to that straddle. And we're just going to actually rotate the hips. So together as one unit, dorsiflex the ankle or plantar flex. And what you can do is internally and externally rotate at the hip capsule without interfering with the ankle and knee. So what I mean by that is I'm not going like this. I'm not just shaking it. So everything moves as a unit. In and out here. And then what we're going to do is go into bear. And if we have a wall, that would be great. And if we don't have a wall, you might want to just try to sit up nice and tall and maybe use your opposite hand for balance. Okay, if you're seated in a chair, you can bring your legs out like this, and I want you to just kind of move your legs like this if you're seated in a chair. If you have a wall, you're going to go into internal hip rotation here in this hip sleeper stretch. We're going to first start in our bear, so making sure the knees are at 90 degrees. These go straight out, dorsiflex those ankles, and then from here what we're going to do is internally rotate one hip. Now if you can go all the way down, that's great, that's 90-90, but for hip sleeper you almost want to find an angle and scan a stretch where you feel comfortable stretching internal rotators here. And as we hold, we're going to breathe. So scan a stretch, shouldn't be any closing angle joint pain, or if there is, you might want to reconsider doing this one. Make sure there's no pain. Find, scan a stretch, breathe and hold here. Inhale and exhale. From here, what we're going to do is press the knee, trying to externally rotate that hip into the hand. And as we do that, we'll be creating that isometric tension, okay? Isometric loading here. That'll be our PALS effort. Our RAILS effort will be to press further into internal rotation from this hip sleeper. Now, if you're off the wall, it might just look like this. I mean, if you want to balance, you can with your hand, or if you don't need to balance, you have good back extension and good hip external rotators, you should be fine to do it like that. Okay, so I will actually reconsider and do it like that. All right, here we go. Breathe and hold. So we're about at a minute there, just holding. And then from here, what we're going to do is press that knee into the hands into the knees at about a 5%, and then we'll go all the way to 30 to 40, all the way to 100% effort. Okay. Now your 100% might be only 50% because you might feel safer at 50. And remember, go into your safest and greatest effort, not your maximal effort that you could possibly do. All right. So 5% of your safest, greatest effort, all the way to 100. So 5%, 10%, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Creating that tension, you should feel it on the outer hip, all that hip stuff going on. Hold it here. All the way to 60, 65 to 70. Working your way to your safest and greatest effort and holding it for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails, trying to lift off away from the hands. Going deeper into internal rotation. Turning all the hip stuff on the other side. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. You may have generated a little bit more space, and then you can reprogram that PALS and RAILS as prescribed on your own. Now we're going to go ahead and switch side. Might be tighter on this side, which it is for me. Tighter meaning you're getting neurological confusion, aberrant maybe feedback, doesn't really know what to do, it might lock up, spasm, whatever you call it. It's really all just bad hip stuff, and we're trying to make good hip stuff. So as we're trying to make good hip stuff, we're stretching this tissue out, scanning the stretch, making sure that you feel it in a safe and comfortable position, using as many feedback systems as you can, whether it's tactile, using any type of wrapping system like this and pushing down if you'd like, whatever you prefer. Sometimes I'll wrap that belly of the hamstring as I push the knee. I feel a little bit different type of a stretch when I do that. Breathe and hold. Sometimes it's too much of a stretch and I've gone too far. So just be careful. Alright, so what we're going to do is go ahead and pals and rouse this side. Remember, pals is going to be pushing into the hand. Rouse is going to be pulling down into the ground here. So here we go. So find your passive range. Pals about 5% going this way. 5% to 10. 10 to 15. 15 to 20. 25 to 30. 35 to 40. 45 to 50. 55 to 60. 70. 80, 85, all the way to 100% of your safe and greatest effort. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. Go deeper into internal rotation. Hold. Keep going all the way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. And if you wanted to go further, you could pause it and do a couple more rounds if that felt like that was what you needed. From here, what we're going to do is get our body out of the seated position and go ahead and work on our glenohumeral for a little bit. We're going to find a wall if possible. If you don't have a wall, that's fine. You don't need one. What we're going to do is just hold on to the wall, or you can challenge yourself by bringing the hand behind you just like this. What that's going to do, it's going to block your left shoulder from wanting to cheat and open up. If you don't have a wall, you can just squeeze your fist like this. You can hold a railing. You don't actually have to do this if it's too hard. Or you can just set it down next to you, but making sure that you're squeezing that fist. So I'm going to go ahead and try that approach. I'm going to go into flexion. And then from here, internal rotation all the way to extension. So the back of the hand is next to the side. So from here, extend, unwind, reach back, all the way up, forward, across the body, and down. One more, all the way up, internal rotation to extension, and then extension, unwind, all the way up, forward, and down. Let's go ahead and switch side. Flexion, internal rotation all the way to extension, and down, and extension, unwind, external rotation, flexion, forward, and down. One more, all the way up, internal rotation to extension, back of the hand next to the side, extension, unwind, back, across the body, and down. Good job. Alright, for the hips, we'll come back to the hips and we'll do some sideline cars. Gonna get into the fetal position, hands out in front, squeeze the fist. If you have a yoga block, you can use that to support your head. From here, what we're gonna do is dorsiflex those ankles, flex those knees, open up the hip abduction, and then from here, we're gonna internally rotate all the way to extension, all the way to flexion. All the way to flexion, abduction, internal rotation. I'm going to rotate the knee all the way around, and then the knee will sit down next to the knee. And we're going to go the opposite way. Kick back, keep that knee bent all the way, open up, all the way up and forward, and let's go around the other way, drawing a circle with that knee, all the way back and around, knee next to knee. And let's go back the other way. Kick back, keep that knee bent, all the way open, forward, and back to start. Go ahead and switch side. Okay, knee goes to elbow, abduction here, keep that knee locked. You can always put a tennis ball behind the knee for a challenge. Internally rotate as you sweep that knee all the way back and around. Knee touches opposite knee. Keep that knee bent. Extension, abduction to external rotation, forward, and down. One more, all the way up, out, internal rotation, loop it around, all the way knee to knee, and then extension, open up the hip, all the way up toward the sky, forward and down. Good job. All right, so let's move to our scapula. Let's get back to that hands and knees position, or you can just hold on to your knees in front of your shoulders. If you're in a chair, you can just go like this. Or if you're in the hands and knees position, we're going to try to protract and retract. So if you're seated, what you can do is bring your hands out front, protract, retract, just like this. So you don't have to use the ground for this one. You can just squeeze the fists and try to perform these movements just like that. So you can choose whatever option works. I'm going to come back to that option. I just want to do this one first. From here, what we're going to do is protract, retract, protract, retract, and then we're going to elevate, and then we're going to retract, depress, push down, and then protract. So we're going to create a circle here with our scapula. Do 2 circles one way, and then we're going to try 2 circles the opposite way. Let's go ahead and try that. 2 circles with your scapula, trying to keep those elbows straight. One more. Good job. All right, from here, bring those hands out in front of the shoulders and then out about 10 or 15 degrees. From here, what we're going to do is same thing, protract, retract, retract, and protract, trying to keep those elbows straight. Then we're going to elevate, retract, depress, protract, elevate, retract, press, protract, and then reverse, retract, elevate, protract, depress, retract, elevate, protract, depress, retract, elevate, protract, and then retract, depress, protract, elevate, retract, depress, protract, elevate, and retract, and relax. A lot of work on those scapulas. For the elbow, we can sit, we can get into a butterfly, we can sit however you want really, in a chair, kneeling. We're going to tee out the arms. We're going to, palms will be facing up, and then you moving our arm as a unit. Hands, wrists, elbows, shoulder, all as a unit. Okay, so an axial rotation, just like we were doing with the hips. So we're going to squeeze the fists, palms facing up. We're going to squeeze, so we're contracting the forearms and the biceps here. And now we're going to turn as a unit all the way down. Keep going, squeeze. A little bit of flexion in the wrists is fine. Hold here, and now squeeze and go the other way. Squeeze everything, and now squeeze the biceps as you flex all the way. Flex, flex, flex. Raise those shoulders up a little bit, and then turn as you flex and push out. And go ahead and turn just the elbow into supination and flex. Pronate elbow, squeeze, and push out. Palms down, internally rotate. We're going to go ahead and move and drive our shoulders to extension. And we're going to perform some axial rotations in extension here. We're also in horizontal abduction. Trying to open and close. You can squeeze those fists. Try to use or move those shoulders as a unit. and relax. Go ahead and round the back if you're seated in a chair or kneeling. And segment all the way up. Good job. All right, from here, we are going to work on the knees. The knees. So, I'm going to wrap the hand or forearm underneath the belly of the hamstring and give yourself a good grip with the hands. You can press your back into the wall if you want, and you can press the opposite heel into the ground. From here, we're going to dorsiflex these toes up toward the sky, or dorsiflex the ankle, wrap it around, squeeze hands. We're going to try to bend this knee and try to squeeze the belly of the calf into the belly of the hamstring, but the forearm's there. So trying to really squeeze the forearm. Turning, using the tibia in and out at the same time. So as a unit, allow this lower limb to move as a unit together. Okay, so try not to let the ankle do the work for the knee. So we're going to turn out, going to extend, in and bend. Out, up, in, down. Out, up, in, down. Out, up, in, and down. Let's go the opposite way. In and up, out and down. In, up, out, and down. In and up, out and down. We're going to keep it out. We're going to take the same-sided, the ipsilateral hand across the medial portion of the distal portion of the foot around the big toe. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold this stretch, and we're going to feel maybe pain on the not pain, but we might feel a stretch here. If there is pain, you want to discontinue this. If there is no pain, then we're good. And I want you to find a line of tension that works best for you. We're going to stretch this position here. I'm going to bring my opposite hand underneath and hold on to the forearm and breathe and hold here. I'm just going to focus on my breathing here. Inhale and exhale. So we are in tibial external rotation and knee flexion. We're going to be focusing on pals pushing into the hand, rals trying to go deeper into external tibial rotation. So what we're going to do is focusing on our breathing here. If there's any pain, we're going to move out of it, pause it, rewind it, fast forward it, whatever you want to do. From here, breathe. Now we're going to start pressing the foot into the hand into the foot. We're only going to go up to about 50% here. We don't want anyone to get injured, and we really don't want to stress this tissue too much. So let's go 5%, 10%, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and go deeper into external rotation. It might not lift off the hand, but we're going to try to lift off the hand and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You should feel all that stuff going on that lower limb, in the ankle tissues, everywhere. I mean, there's so many muscles that are contributing to the rotation of the knee. Okay, so just like there's a lot of muscles that help the shoulder move up, and just like there's a lot of muscles that help the knee flex. Okay, there's a lot of muscles that make these movements happen. So now what we're going to do is internal tibial rotation. Okay, finding a stretch. Maybe on the outside here you might feel that, and across the whole lower limb here and into the ankle. Breathe and hold. Wrap that same-sided hand around the contralateral forearm. Breathe here. Inhale 3 to 5, and then exhale 6 to 10. Alright, we're going to, pals will be pushing into the hand, rals will be going deeper into internal rotation. Okay, so here we go. Up to 50%. 5% effort. 10. 15%. 20. 25 to 30. 35 to 40. 45 to 50 and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. Go deeper in internal rotation. Try to lift off with the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. And then go ahead and go through a couple knee cars real quick. Oof. Try to save that work. Alright, let's get the other side. External rotation of the knee. Tibial rotation. Knees going out. Wrap it around. Hold here. Breathe. Inhale 4. Exhale 8. Play around with those opposite toes if you want. Diaphragmatic breathing, which is, 100% because the diaphragm has to breathe. So, good point by Dewey was that your diaphragm is always being utilized. So why do we call it diaphragmatic breathing? You can call it calm breathing, he said, or just deep breathing, or just, making sure that you're not chest breathing, inhaling slowly through the nose, and trying to deep exhale. Pals contraction will be going into the hand, and rals contraction will be going the opposite way. And you'll be feeling all that stuff going on everywhere. Okay, so from here, start building that tension, 5 to 50%. So 5%, 10%, 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 35 to 40, 45 to 50, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and other way. Trying to lift off of the hand and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. And let's go the other way. Internal rotation, opposite arm reaches across the lateral portion, the distal end of the foot. And the opposite arm will go onto the forearm. Breathe and hold. Stretching here, you might feel some stuff going on along this whole entire leg, which is normal. If it's too much pain, you can skip this. Breathe and hold. Okay, from here, pals effort pushing into the hand, rals effort pulling away. Here we go. 5%, 10%, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 to 50% hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rouse going the other way. Deeper into internal rotation. Hold it. Lift off. 5, 4, 3, 2, and back to your passive range. And relax. From here, go ahead and perform some knee cars. Out, up, in, down. In, up, out, and down. In, up, out, and down. Go ahead and rotate those ankles. Big circles. And circle the other way. Point the big toe down. Small toes up. Big toe down. Small toes up. Big toe down. Switch. Small toes down. Sorry. Big toe up. And then from here, let's go ahead and work our kneecaps. You're able to get passive range. Whether you're up against a wall or not, we're going to go ahead and push the kneecap side to side and up and down in a full circle. So 360 degrees. Pushing that kneecap or patella all the way around like it's a clock. All the way around. And go ahead and switch side. This is the only movement that we do that is 100% passive. We're just pushing the kneecap. Now if we wanted to make this active, we could literally push into the area we're trying to be able to move into. So if this kneecap doesn't move, then we need to try to move it a little bit more into those areas. Obviously getting an assessment first would be the first thing I would do. So we got the ankles, we got the toes, we got the knees, the kneecaps, the hips, we got the spine, we got the elbows, the hands, the wrists, the head and neck, and the back. So we covered most things today. That was it for today. I hope you enjoyed our mobility class, and if you have any questions, please reach out, comment, and if you like a certain video, maybe I'll make one for you. Alright, see ya.